Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't going.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves up.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. This is our Sunday morning show with me, Mike, aka Classic Mike. It's Sunday, September 17th. We are week 2 of the NFL season. Excited to get you to all the things that have happened since our Friday show. Tons of news and notes to go over today as well. Today we will go over our week 2 start sit questions throughout the show. So keep bringing them in if you have any. I will get to them in the chat. We are also going to go over actives and inactives prior to game time, roughly around 11:30. And then I'll give you some of my DFS value picks for those that are interested in DFS. So keep those questions coming throughout the show. We will get to them as we go. Make sure when you guys are asking questions, just, make sure you give me the type of league, PPR, half point, standard, and the situation, just so that I can give you a better understanding of what's going on, just because I want to give you the best advice possible. Also, make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. They have tons of things going on today. Underdog Fantasy is, it is a best ball platform, but they also have a variety of different things to use in season as well. In season contest, daily pick'em contest. It's a lot of fun. So sign up now. Use the link in the description. Make sure you guys also, when you register, use the promo code Get Right here, and they will match you up. They will match your first deposit up to $100. So basically double your money. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. They have a lot of things going on. Like I said, pick 'em special. They do daily fantasy stuff as well. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code Get Right when you register. So glad to see everybody. It's Albert in the house. What up, Albert? Hope you're doing well. We got Neanderthal with his first question of the day. Hurts or Schultz? Oof. All right. Until further notice, it's hard to play Dalton Schultz. I think I'm going to stick with Hayden Hurst for now. Going against the Saints, it will be a easier matchup, I guess. We're going to get into why the Schultz thing is going to be a little bit harder today, just because of a lot of things going on in Houston. So I'm going to start out with some news and notes for you guys. So players that we know that are out as of right this moment that we know of: Marlon Humphreys for the Ravens, he will be out today. Tyler Letterbaum, he will be out. Ronnie Staley will be out as well. Marcus Williams, Carlton Davis, Jamal Williams, Charles Cross for the Seahawks, Jalen Petrie, the safety for the Texans. That's one of the big Texans ones. Jimmy Ward will be out as well for the Texans. Chandler Jones, Jacoby Myers with his concussion. Frank Clark will be out today. Greg Dulcich, he is now being put on IR. He will be out today as well. Austin Eckler was declared out yesterday, so he will be out today. Joshua Kelly will be getting the start. Greg Zerloin for the Jets, the kicker, he will be out today. They ended up signing Austin Seibert. So he will be the kicker for the Jets today. Aaron Jones is going to be out. He's out. He's out. They brought up who they bring up. They brought up Patrick Taylor and Emmanuel Wilson from their practice squad. He's out. It doesn't look good for Christian Watson as well. He will most likely be out today as well. So they have very little in Green Bay today. They have Romeo Dobbs, Luke Musgrave, and a couple other guys that I don't even know their name off the top of my head. There was news yesterday that Amari Cooper aggravated his groin. So Cooper had core muscle surgery over the offseason. It looks like he aggravated it during Saturday's practice, which is their Thursday practice, technically. Just because they play on Monday night. So they'll see how he does after the next 48 hours, but he is listed as questionable as of right now. So he's not looking great to play on Monday night. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But honestly, I don't see good things just because, the groin area, for the core area is not, it can really hurt and can really aggravate things. And, midway through the week is not good. So I would make arrangements now to make sure that you have somebody, because he plays Monday night. Taylor Decker, the tackle for the Lions, will be downgraded to out as well. He will not be playing today. Melvin Gordon was promoted to the 53-man roster for the Ravens. He will be in the mix between Justice Hill and Gus Edwards today. There was so Brandon Cooks, he was listed as questionable. He sprained his knee. He's not expected to play today. Like I said on Friday's show, he was on the other side of questionable, like the bad side of questionable. So it looks like he will not be playing today. Zach Martin looks like he will play today. So, like I said, it's one of those two. Bengals, Chris Evans will not play today. So he is not going to play. I know that you're probably not playing him, but he is not going to play today. Looks like Mark Andrews is listed as questionable with a quad injury, but he's expected to play. Port said that he looked fine. He could have probably went last week, but the game didn't really – they said that the game didn't mean much. I think every game means a lot. So I think for now he looks good to go. Didn't look like he has a snap count. Now, this is kind of the big news. Texans had a couple of really big injuries midway through the week that popped up on the injury report. Laramie Tunsil, he will be questionable today for today's game due to knee injury. He is not expected to play. So if Tunsil doesn't play, which strong case that he doesn't, for the regular offensive line starters will be out today. So they're going to be basically starting a whole new line. That was why I kind of will lean another way for some of the Texans options today. I think Nico Collins could be okay. They're going to still have to throw the ball. I think Dameon Pierce might have a little bit of a rough day. He's more of a running back, low end running back too. Maybe a flex option in some situations. CJ Stroud also popped up on the injury report on Friday with a right shoulder injury. But he's expected to play today. If God forbid that gets aggravated, they have Davis Mills. Davis Mills does have experience in the league. That's why I said, Nico Collins could be, he'll be fine just because of who's with him. So that's kind of significant for that game against the Indianapolis Colts. So we'll have to see how that game, works out. Maybe Zach Moss has a better game due to this, just because they also lost Petrie as well. So that's kind of a significant, deep threat, and he also comes into the box a lot. So you might want to start your Colts today. Deontay Foreman, he'll be a healthy scratch from what we keep hearing. So Roshan Johnson will be getting an uptick in opportunities as per Tom Pelissero. So it looks like all those guys that bought into Roshan Johnson, good for you guys. He's going to turn into something nice. So we'll wait and see how that turns out today against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right now, the two games that are going to be a little bit right now dealing with some type of weather that's more significant than just like, a mile an hour per wind, decent weather conditions is the Chicago Tampa Bay Right now, it looks like they're going to have a lot of rain. It's elevated through the first quarter. So basically, everything from the second quarter on, it says second quarter and fourth quarter. It doesn't say a ton of rain. It just says it's going to be hot, but it's Tampa Bay. They should be getting something at one point. Jacksonville is kind of in the same boat. I'm assuming it's the same system, but it looks like they're elevated throughout the day. They're supposed to get 0.15 inches, throughout the game. 11-mile-an-hour winds, nice and hot in Jacksonville. So looks like they're going to have a rough, wet, disgusting game out in Jacksonville with Kansas City. I mean, the line for that game is 51. So that's going to be interesting. So to say the least. For those that are just joining or those that are, just tuning in, if you have anything, throw it in the chat. I'm here to answer your start sit questions for anything that you have. We're going to, like I said, we're going all the way up until probably anywhere between 12:30 based on how much interaction we got going on. If there's no one in the chat, I'm probably going to just head out, but we'll see how that goes. Please make sure make sure you guys check out our other shows as well. We're going to be back here on Monday. Frank and Anthony will be going over reactions to the week. They'll be giving you waiver wire targets to target for the week. Then check them both back out. They're going to come back on Wednesday, and they will go over roster construction, go over ways to help build your team, trades, trade targets, buy, sell, all that fun stuff on Wednesday's show. And then we'll be back, me and Ant, on Friday to do start sit. And then I'm going to be right back here on Sunday morning to help you guys like I am currently. So Neanderthal asked me another good question. Darnell Mooney or Romeo Doubs? Based on volume, just volume alone, I think Dobbs should be okay. The problem is, they're going to have to establish the run with Dillon. They're going to have to kind of keep things moving. I think Dobbs is a good choice. I don't really trust Mooney. I know Mooney had a decent game last week. He got a good deep ball, and everything worked out. The team, the Bears have talked about being a little bit more pass heavy comparatively to running the ball. So I think I'm going to lead Dobbs here. I do have him ranked significantly higher than someone like Darnell Mooney. I have him. Where do I have him ranked? I'm not as high on him as most people, but I have him at 42 comparatively to Mooney at 52. So they're in two different tiers for me. I need to still kind of adjust some things just because I know of some, I know of the people not playing and stuff like that. So I got to move things around a little bit. We found out that DeAndre Hopkins is also expected to play. He's going to give it a go. He didn't practice all week, so that's kind of significant. I gave you guys the option of Nick Westbrook, Akine. If Hopkins didn't play, I do think that he's still a decent option. He still did well, but I do think that they're going to run the ball against the Chargers. I do not think it's going to be a big, heavy, pass heavy game. So I think you have to temper expectations for the passing game. I think you have to do that either way. But I haven't got any other news about any other really crazy players. I'm looking at my list right now of any other, huge news that might have came through. So make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. Make sure you guys also check out some of our affiliate podcasts as well. We have Tim and AJ on the Fantasy Frontline podcast. Make sure you guys check them out. The Check Down podcast with Conan McGoats, Shirtless Pat, the whole crew. They're on Wednesday evenings at 8:30 Eastern. So make sure you guys check them out. Check out coming soon, you'll have them boys, good old Adam. He will have the Deadzone Fantasy Show. So make sure you guys check them out as well. So also make sure you guys check out our other affiliate right up here, the trophysmack.com. I mean, I know it's already started, leagues are already started, but hey, you can talk your league mates into getting things like this nice ring. You can talk about trying to get the belt. I mean, geez, this belt looks awesome. It's one of their best selling products. Also, customized trophies, customized chains. You can customize any of your trophies to fit your league's needs. So make sure you guys check out trophysmack.com. One of, really great site, really great group of guys. So make sure you guys check them out. Also, don't forget Underdog Fantasy. I understand you guys, or some of you guys that are listening, are in these particular areas out in Washington, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, which I have no idea why Nevada would not want you guys involved. All those other states in there. I see Michigan. I see Iowa, Louisiana. That looks like that looks like Connecticut, maybe Delaware, Hawaii. I mean, come on, get your act together. Make sure if you're not in those states and you're in the states that can actually be a part of it, make sure you guys check out. Make sure you guys are using the promo code Get Right so that you guys can get your first deposit up to $100 doubled. Put in 100, you get 200. That's free money for you to use. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Great little site. I enjoy it a lot. I do the pick'ems every week. I make sure to get, anything I can because, money's money. Got to get whatever you can. There was a report before from Adam Scheffler stating that Robert Saleh for the Jets, no matter who the quarterback is, he said a team needs three elements to win on the road: strong run game, tough defense, and sound special teams. So he hopes to be able to check all those boxes today versus the Cowboys. That's going to be a rough matchup for them. So we'll have to wait and see. So Neanderthal says, I'm in Nevada. It's because they want the casinos to make the money. So then, get affiliated with them. Like that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, betting is legal in Nevada, but you only in the casino. Like that, it is what it is. Like out here in New York, I mean, everything's available to you now. It doesn't make sense that you shouldn't be able to do anything other than the casino, but I get it. That's their main source because it's basically a desert. Most of Nevada is basically one big desert. So I get it, but I don't at the same time. They got to change those rules. I think it's silly. I think you should have access to Underdog so you can, do anything you want there. It makes no sense. That's just me, though. That's just me. I'm trying to find some other news for you guys to, see if there's anything leading up to game time. There's not really much going on at the moment. No real news reports that came through. We heard that Travis Kelce and Chris Jones will be back today for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's significant. Then they can't whine if they lose. Everyone's been like, oh, they lost because of A, B, and C. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see how that all goes. But honestly, I don't foresee them losing 2 in a row. Even though the Jags I do like very much. I don't think a Super Bowl team in the Super Bowl era has ever gone 0-2 in the first 2 weeks. I think that was it hasn't happened since like, when was it? I think the Cowboys or the Broncos or something like that. Something happened. I was listening this morning, half listening. I can't listen to Mike Irvin in the morning. But yeah, so we'll wait and see how that turns out. I mean, they're getting all their weapons back. They're getting everybody that they need. So hopefully Mahomes will be able to spread the ball out a little bit and get everybody moving. All right. So we're leading up. We got about 10 minutes until we get to the actives and inactives. So like I tell you guys, make sure you guys throw all your questions in the chat. I'm here to answer all your start sit questions to help you win your week 2 matchup. So make sure you guys throw that in there as well. Can't forget about all this. I keep forgetting to hit this ticker. I did it for the Friday show. Make sure this is the schedule for everybody so you guys know, what we have going on. I really hope you guys, take advantage of that. Come listen to our shows every week. Kyle Flint, what's going on, Kyle? It's great to see you. He goes flex spot decision. Garrett Wilson. Oh wow, you're in that bad of a situation. So we got Garrett Wilson, Puka, Dobbs, or Elijah Moore. Sounds silly, but all have pros and cons. I completely agree with you. It's hard. I love the term "start your studs." You don't want to get too fancy and kind of go, oh, I'm going to start the lowest ranked guy for, over a guy like Garrett Wilson because of the Dallas defense. I get it. I understand I understand Garrett Wilson is going to be in a crap situation. He's got a really cruddy quarterback. Puka had a week last week, and the 15 targets, 10. I get all that. Romeo Dobbs is in a good situation. There's no one behind him, no one around him, and Elijah Moore most likely will be the number one going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I completely understand your particular dilemma. It's definitely sounds silly. Oof. This is a tough one. I don't think you should really try to be, I don't think it's something that you can really do. I mean, I have Garrett Wilson at 21. I have Romeo Dobbs. All right, Puka at 31. I have Romeo Dobbs at 42. And I have Puka. Where's Puka? He's around here somewhere. I might have missed it. Oh, and I have Puka at, I said 31, right? So 31, I have Elijah Moore at 32, and I have Romeo Dobbs at 42. It's hard for me to tell you not to start Garrett Wilson. They're going to be, they're most likely going to get a ton of situations where they're going to have to run the damn ball most of the game. I get that. The pass attempts are probably going to be very low for Zach Wilson, so you're only going to get maybe 20 attempts to get decent amount of points. Now, who are you going to throw it to? He's going to be going against Trayvon Diggs, who is a premier cornerback, but you also have to understand that he goes against Sauce Gardner every week. So I understand the hesitation. I do think the ceiling play is Garrett Wilson. I think the safer play or the more floor play is probably I think the safer play or the floor play is probably going to be Puka. No, yeah, the safer play is probably Puka or Dobbs. I think one of those is going to be that type of play. I'm not sure about Elijah Moore at this point. So I'm going to lean. The Garrett Wilson is kind of the ceiling pick. If you need a really, if you're the underdog and you are, 110 to 140, you might want to go Wilson. But if you are kind of right head to head right now with the guy, I might go Puka just to be safe. He's probably not going to get the same amount of targets he got last week. I think last week was a fluke. They're going to have to throw a little bit. They're facing San Francisco. They both know each other very well. The game's going to be tighter than what people might think it might be, because when you're facing your division opponent, everybody knows each other. People think that it's going to be like a blowout game. No, they know each other very well. I think I think the line is like 2.5 or something like that. But for me, and it's indoors, you don't have to worry about much. That's how I'm leaning. I think Dobbs could have a decent game, but Atlanta, I think this is going to just be a run the ball, play defense for both teams, to be really honest, for that Green Bay Falcons game. So Yeah, I'm going to stick to those two. Garrett Wilson and or Puka. Like I said, ceiling play, floor play. Yeah, no, dude, that is, I mean, it's not my first question, but that's a tough question. Those are really tough decisions that you have to make. I mean, my situations that I've had to make are my wife's team had Dave Montgomery, I always get his name wrong, Dotson. I'm just going to say Dotson, and DJ Moore. Like, those were my options to pick from. Like, this week has been a little bit tougher. Dr. Clutch in the house. What up? He goes wide receiver and a flex. Okay, 10-man PPR, so full PPR. Higgins. Just, okay. Everybody, stop freaking out about Higgins. Higgins is fine. Throw Higgins into your lineup. Just put him in there. I'd like him. He'll be fine. Dotson, I understand if you wanted to put in over Higgins, but honestly, Higgins is the guy. Just throw Higgins in your lineup. If you want to do a flex play, this is where it gets a little interesting. So Higgins should be the wide receiver for me. I like him a lot. Hop, I don't really trust. If he's out there, he's going to be, he's going to only be 50% or a decoy. Like, he's not anybody that I trust at the moment. Pickens, just until I see more from him, I understand how talented he is. Talent is one thing. Dameon Pierce is going to have a rough day. They do not have their starting offensive line. All of their offensive line are hurt. I said in the beginning of the show, Laramie Tunsil is not playing today, even though he's the left tackle. That's significant. Like, he is involved in as being a part of that line and, a big part of it. So him not being there is going to hurt guys like Dameon Pierce. Raheem Mostert. I mean, Mostert is going against New England. I think that's going to be a really tough game for Miami. They're going to try to shut down. They're going to try to shut down Tyreek Hill with two deep. So they should run it a little bit. So Mostert, I feel a little bit better about, but you're telling me that you also have Javonte as an option and they're going against Washington. I don't hate that option. But so for me, it's between Javonte and Dotson for your flex spot. I think the ceiling play is Dotson. If you want a guy that's going to just go off, or you want to take the big risk and have a good reward behind it, I think Dotson's that play. If you want to be a little bit safer and conservative, I'd probably go with Javonte, just because he's guaranteed those touches. He's guaranteed to give or touch the ball a little bit more. So for me, it's Higgins for sure. Throw him in your wide receiver spot. I think you'll be fine. For the flex spot, it's really between Dotson and Javonte here. So one of those two guys I like a lot. It's hard for me to give you a real answer. But like I said, ceiling play is definitely Dotson. The floor play is more Javonte, and Javonte could go off and have a really good game. So that's where I always tend to lean a little bit more towards the running back for flex questions, just because I think, the running back touches the ball a little bit more. That's why I'm giving you that ceiling floor type, scenario. It's based on what you need. And Dr. Clutch, I trust Higgins going forward too, but also wanted to hear your opinion on him. Yeah, don't stress about Higgins. Honestly, Higgins is going to be just fine. He saw 8 targets in the game. Yes, he didn't catch any of them, but only 3 of them were like catchable. 3 of them were like in his like right here, and it just, he got swapped or, swatted or something happened. So Kyle Borgogan for the fantasy footballers, look him up on Twitter if you can. He posted a thing about T. Higgins and not to worry about him. Watch the video he posted about it. There are like 3. He shows every throw to Higgins, and every throw it was just either over his head or short or out of range or just nowhere near him. There was only 3 that he could go, oh, it was right here, or oh, it was right here. So it'll be fine. and it was a rainy, shitty game. There was so much, so many variables involved in that scenario that you can't. I understand, like, Chase caught some and he did well and Higgins didn't. Like, I get it. Baltimore is a lot weaker against the pass, and they're beat up at wide receiver or at cornerback. Marlon Humphrey isn't in. Like, just everybody, like Aaron Rodgers said a few years ago, relax. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Just throw Higgins in like it doesn't matter. I have Higgins starting in a bunch of leagues. So we're good. All right. Actives, inactives are coming in right now. Looks like CJ Stroud, he's good to go. So don't worry about him. He will be fine. I wasn't too worried about CJ Stroud, to be honest, even with the news. They're going to have him play. Travis Kelce officially active, and so is Chris Jones. Both will be active today. Still waiting on a few other things. Looks like Chase Claypool will be active. I don't think anybody cares about Chase Claypool. If you're playing him, sorry. Buccaneers, Keyshawn Vaughn will be inactive today. If you're playing him, good for you. Titans and Chargers. So Titans inactives. It doesn't look like DeAndre Hopkins is on that list. So it looks like DeAndre Hopkins will be playing. Their offensive guard, Peter Schwarzenegger, he's going to be out today. That's kind of big, but Derrick Henry will find a way. Looks like Joey Bosa will be playing for the Chargers today. It was iffy. It looks like he is good to go. He was only seen a couple times during practice the last few weeks, so he should be good to go. He had a hamstring injury he is nursing. Marco, I see you. I see your question. I love it. I'm just waiting right now for a couple more actives and inactives, but don't you worry. Hold on tight. I will get to your question shortly. It looks like Chris Evans, like I said before, for the Bengals, he will be out today. Chase Brown will make a debut. It looks, from what I keep seeing, look for Travion Williams to handle the third down and 2-minute snaps. So Chase Brown, I wouldn't really play in any shape, way, or form. Chris Evans either. Mark Andrews is officially active today. Like I told you before about the Baltimore, they have Arthur Mollett, their corner, out. Marcus Williams, their free safety, out. Marlon Humphreys, their cornerback, out. I mean, that's crazy. They have a lot of guys out in the secondary. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is active today. He was questionable to lead up just because he had an illness prior. He is active today, so all the other Chiefs that we were talking about before are active. Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. So that's good for everybody that are playing those. I still think that Pacheco, he'll be okay. We'll see. I think they're going to have to run the ball today just because of the weather that's going to be there. Like I said, Jacksonville and Tampa Bay, they're going to have some rain. So be aware of that. It looks like Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are both inactive, as well as David Bakhtiari. That's big. Their left tackle, all-pro left tackle, really good. David Bakhtiari, he is out, as well as Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. That means, they're going to have to run the ball to keep, everything kind of, keep it closer than what people think. So don't worry. I see all your questions coming in. I'm getting to it. It will be there. I'm just running through all these particular inactives and actives. Deontay Foreman, he will be out today as a healthy scratch. Ekimus St. Brown will be out today as well. Nate Davis, as part of the Bears, they will be out as well. Quentin Nelson is good to go, so that's good for the Indianapolis Colts. He is active today. Kyle Grayson is good to go as well. They're tight end. So, okay, cool. Good to hear. That helps out Anthony Richardson a ton and helps out Zach Moss as well. I I think that's my biggest question is Zach Moss or Joshua Kelly. So we got to get into that. Dr. Clutch goes, tough choice between Dotson and Javonte. I have until 3:25 Central Time to make that decision. Yeah, man, you got to – it's one of those two, though. I really like one of those two. It definitely helps at least give – breaks it down where you don't have to worry about those other guys. Focus on those two. Looks like Cordell Patterson for the Falcons will be inactive today. Jeff Okuna will remain inactive as well. So that's kind of significant. So that kind of gives Dobbs a little bit of a bump for me. I think he will be just and only like a smidge. Like I said, I have him at 42, maybe bumps him up to 40. Like nothing crazy in my opinion. And that's just going over guys like Drake London, which isn't really saying much. All right, Marco, hope you're still listening. I hope this helps. So choose 3: Gibbs, Algier, Godwin, Jamal Williams, Dobbs, Nuka, Mike Williams. Jeez. You have quite a stable of guys in there, don't you? So for me, it's I'm going to lean Gibbs. They do they did say that they are going to give him the ball more, get him more involved. Tyler Algier, I think you should be starting as a flex play every week. He is going to get the ball. I understand Bijan's there. I understand that he'll take away a little bit. End of the day, he's still going to be involved. So then it really comes down to your third option. This is where I would ask you to tell me if it's full PPR, half PPR, standard, whatever it is. Standard, I'd probably lean Jamal Williams just because running backs in standard are a little bit more valuable. If it's anything, if it's full PPR, it is full PPR. All right, so full PPR here. It's between Dobbs, Nuka, and Mike Williams. Dude, that is so I'm going to take Jamal Williams out of the equation. Oh, well, and Godwin. I saw Godwin in there. So I think it's Gibbs and Algier. Those are the two that you can basically be completely fine with. You don't even have to have them in your brain. I think you can remove Jamal Williams from the equation, even though it's a decent matchup for him. This is a tough one. I mean, I have Mike Williams definitely ranked higher. He's a better talent overall going against the Titans, but they are going to be going west to east, which is always unfavorable to the West Coast team. And then on top of that, they're going to be in a slugfest. That's going to be tough. Dobbs, like I said, Jeff Okuda is going to be out today. And they're in a dome. Puka Nuka, he's going to be going against who he's going against. Puka is going against San Francisco. That's going to be a tougher matchup. Might have to throw the ball. Oh, that's a tough one, man. I think those two games they're going to have to run the ball a lot more. I think Mike Williams could have a decent game today. I think I'm going to lean Mike Williams. Like I said, I have Mike Williams ranked higher. I have him at 22 comparatively to Nuka and Dobbs. Dobbs I have at 42, but I'd probably move him up to around 40. Nuka I have at 31. Chris Godwin I have. Where's Chris? I have Chris Godwin at 18. So Chris Godwin, Mike Evans is kind of where I'm leaning. Go with Chris. Actually, you know what? Go Chris Godwin. Good matchup for him. The weather's going to be a little crappy, though, so just know that. It's going to be a little rainy throughout the game. So if you trust Baker Mayfield, I think he's more the ceiling play. I think Williams is more – well, I think Williams is a ceiling play every week. Yeah, that's a good question. Like I said, Gibbs, Algier, done. But the other ones, I'm going to have to give you an answer. Gut reaction, Dobbs. I'm just going to go gut. Go with the gut. Feels like that American Dad thing. If you ever watched it, watch the gut episode. So Dr. Clutch goes, another league also need a flex PPR. Pachenko, Lockett, Drake, Khalil Herbert, Mooney. Take out Drake, Herbert, and Mooney. So basically it's Pacheco and Lockett. I'm gonna lean Pacheco because he'll get the ball a little bit more. He's not really involved in the passing game, so that's kind of gives him a little bit of a downgrade. So he's definitely the floor play for me. Lockett is more of the ceiling play. So it's definitely between those two for me. I think the other two or the other three are just get rid of them. Yeah, I'm not focusing on any of the the end of that. So yeah, floor play Pacheco, ceiling play is definitely Lockett. My name's Issa Borat. What's going on, man? Glad to see you. Glad to have you in. He has Khalil Herbert or Antonio Gibson and okay, so running back or wide receiver. So he's got Khalil Herbert or Antonio Gibson, JSN or McLaurin. Ugh. JSN or McLaurin is a tough one for me. McLaurin's going to be going against Patrick Surtain. I think that's going to be a really rough matchup for him. He didn't really shut down Devontae Adams, but it's still a tough matchup. JSN is a third wide receiver going against Detroit. He's still coming back from that hand injury, even though he's okay. I have JSN really low at 43, but I have Terry at 28 or 29. I think in these scenarios, it's hard to be cute. Like, I think maybe Terry's the better option. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch in general. For the running back situation, I might have to lean Gibson, even though he had a really shitty day. I don't like giving you that. I mean, it's going against Denver, decent conditions. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Khalil Herbert is going to be still involved going against Tampa. They're going to be in crappy weather. I'm going to go Herbert there. I think Herbert will give you a better option. I think McLaurin is the better choice otherwise. So, yeah, I'm going to go Herbert and McLaurin. Will Hayes, Sam Laporta, or Hunter Henry? I actually have this dilemma in one of my leagues. I'm going to go Laporta. I've been high on Laporta all year. I'm going to keep that up. Let's keep it Sam Laporta. Ride that train for now. I know Hunter did really well last week. I think he is still a top option there. But they were down Devontae Parker. They're facing Miami this week. I'm trying to think. I think they're going to have to run the ball to keep keep the ball out of Tua's hands, but they're going to have to throw in situations here and there. So maybe Hunter, but Hunter most likely is the, just the red zone target. So I understand that. I think full PPR. Yeah, I'm going to go Laporta. Mike 32. What's going on, Mike 32? I wish I was 32. I miss being 32. He goes, start Terry McLaurin, JSN, or Tutu this week. Oof. The fact that you are leaning, I'm trying to understand. I'm assuming the reason why people are not leaning Terry McLaurin is because of Patrick Surtain. I can understand that. But to go as low as saying that you would start a guy like JSN or Tutu Atwell, that's tough. I mean, San Francisco isn't great against the slot, and I understand that Tutu is probably going to fit that role. I can't trust a guy that did well one week, doesn't do well other weeks, comparatively to a guy like Terry who has a safer floor. He might be going against one of the best corners in the league, but he's still a good wide receiver. Sam Howell has to make good decisions and stay upright. I have to go Terry. If you want to gamble and go with someone like JSN or Tutu Atwell, I mean, by all means, go for it. I'm going to give you the more conservative answer with Terry McLaurin because it just makes more sense to me. I can't see myself playing JSN or Tutu Atwell over a guy like Terry McLaurin. I'm sorry, can't do it. Perry Williams, what's going on, Perry? How you doing, man? He goes, yo, Mike, start 2. Nico Collins, Chris Godwin, Nuka, Jamal Williams, Mostert. Ew. So start 2. I'm assuming these are PPR. So just double check and let me know PPR or half or standard. Starting 2. I think Collins can be started. I think he's going to have a rough day, though. If you're going to have to pick between Godwin, Nuka, or Jamal or Mostert, oof. I keep getting questions about these guys, too. I think Mostert could be. See, Mostert's going to be in a tough scenario, man. They're good against the run, but they're going to try to shut down. They're going to try to shut down Tyreek Hill. So Mike goes, wasn't expecting Amari to get hurt. Oh, of course. Would have played Addison if I had more time. Well, yeah, you can't play him now. But yeah, I will give you advice moving forward. I like Jordan Addison rest of the season. You can pretty much put him in most matchups, and you're going to be just fine. I have a buddy that actually drafted a team similar to yours in the context of having Addison, Zay Flowers, and JSN as all his wide receivers. So he has tough matchups every week. Terry McLaurin he's just a better receiver overall. To me, I mean, JSN could turn into something like that. I do think that Tutu Atwell is really no one that I can really trust. Terry McLaurin is a solid wide receiver 1 on a football team. So for me, I have to go Terry McLaurin there. I just have to. If you're going to switch out Amari for Terry McLaurin, you have to. That's just how it goes. So Perry, let me know if this is full PPR for this league, for the Collins, Godwin, Nuka, Jamal Williams, all that fun stuff. I just need to know to kind of give you a better option. Mostert, I feel like, is a definite, he could be a good floor play. Or actually, Jamal Williams is probably a better floor play in this scenario. Carolina isn't anything to sneeze at when it comes to running the ball. They're not that great. They're better at pass rush. For me, if you're going to go with a wide receiver, I'd probably go Godwin over Collins and Nuka. I mean, Nuka, I understand the whole craze with Nuka. I really do. I think he's a really talented receiver and just seems to have, Stafford's eye. But honestly, until I see more, I mean, I don't know. I think that might have just been 1 week, but maybe this week starts the trend. It takes 3 weeks to be a trend. So I'm going to go I think I'm going to go Godwin and Jamal Williams for this, even without the PPR situation or not. Then it's start 3 out of this list: Nuka, Moore, Mostert, or Herbert. I'm assuming this is DJ Moore. If it's DJ Moore, yes, I will go with DJ Moore in there. I would not put Herbert in because if you play Herbert, you really shouldn't play Moore. Those scenarios, they eat into each other, and it's just not worth it. So I would then go Nuka, Moore, Mostert if it is, in fact, DJ Moore. If it's Elijah Moore, that's a different scenario. So let me know which one they are. But yeah. So for those that are still watching, please make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. I will answer them as we go. I'm going to give you guys my DFS value picks for both quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. Well, wide receiver, tight end, and DST. I personally use FanDuel. So I'm using FanDuel's particular, numbers and things like that. I'm not using DraftKings. Don't get me started. So I'm going to be using, like I said, FanDuel for this. Here we go. So I'm going to get started with the quarterbacks. You see that we have guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes up here at the top at $92. $100. You got Patrick Mahomes, 9,000. I mean, it is Patrick's birthday. So if you want to roll with the birthday type deal, Patrick could be a good play. Pair him with Travis Kelce and then have a bunch of scrubs underneath it. That could be fine. But if you're looking for some value picks, I would take a second and look a little bit lower, and you can find guys like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is here at $7,400. That's a steal going against Baltimore. I think he is one of my biggest quarterback plays this week. If you really want to, other guys like Jared Goff at $7,300, I think that's a good price for him. I do think Jordan Love going at $7,200 isn't a bad price. My other one is Geno Smith going against Detroit at $7,000. That's a great value for him. I think he should do just fine. So those are my quarterback ones. I don't have a ton just because there's really not a lot. There's three games that are in prime time on Sunday night and Monday Night Football. So it kind of takes six teams out of the running. So Neanderthal goes with Coop Hurt, Rashad White, Godwin, or Zay Jones for my flex standard league. I have White in now. Yeah, leave White in there. And if you're facing me, put someone else. I'm only kidding. I don't think I'm facing you this week. Let's see what we got. Are you facing me this week? I don't think so. I don't remember your name being in my my thing this week. No, I'm facing Rasta this week. He's already got an 11.5 point lead in your home league. All right. Let's move on to the running backs. Running back scenarios. You can go with Christian McCaffrey at the top at $5,900 if you want. Then it's a big drop to Saquon right after that. But there are much more value picks running at the bottom. We got A.J. Dillon right here. No one else behind him. He has the opportunity to be the running back one. $7,000. Not a bad choice. You can also go with Tyler Algier right here. He's at $7,100 going against Green Bay, who had a rough time against the run last week. These two, great picks for, if you want to spend a little bit less. James Cook right here at $6,600 against the Raiders. I think it's a really good value for him. You could also throw in David Montgomery, who is a little bit lower on this list, $6,300. That's a steal. I have no problem, spending that type of money on him. Another guy I like is Joshua Kelly. I would temper expectations just because Tennessee is decent against the run, but he is $6,300. Another guy that we could discuss is Rashad White, who we just mentioned for you, Neanderthal, to start. He's $6,200 against the Bears. Like I said, crappy weather, crappy scenario. I really do think they're going to just run the ball. So we'll wait and see. This is Zach Moss is probably my must start in DFS leagues. I mean, you can't go wrong with that particular situation. Honestly, I'm a little shocked that he isn't more. But Zach Moss, I mean, $6,100, go for it. I did mention before Dameon Pierce is kind of a bad option this week, but he is $6,000. If you're in a pinch and you need to kind of fill a void, he's not a bad person to have. Okay, so I'm getting word right now from Adam Scheffler that Amari Cooper is considered unlikely to play against the Steelers. If you're going to pop up on the injury report on Saturday, that's going to happen. Amari Cooper unlikely to play. So be aware of that for those that are listening. Amari Cooper will not play on Monday night. So that bumps up guys like Elijah Moore. That bumps up guys like Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, guys like that. So just be aware of that. All righty. My last option is, and it is an insane price, is $58 or $58,000 or $5,800. Sorry about that. For Jamar Gibbs against Seattle. He's a good option today. They're going to just use it. They said they're going to use him more, get him more involved. I like it. With the news about Roshan Johnson, I'm just double checking. Yeah, Roshan Johnson's another good option today as well. $4,600. Oof, he would be a good pick in DFS. All right, let's get back to some more of your questions. I see the chat blown up. We got Drunk Squidward in the house. Is Gus Edwards a start? That's a tough one, bro. You could start him, but it's going to be a rotating backfield. Like that's a three-headed. That's going to be a three-headed monster in my opinion. You got Gus, Justice Hill, and Melvin Gordon all getting touches. I still think, personally, my opinion, I do think Melvin Gordon has some juice left in him. I understand he's on a practice squad. I understand he's being brought up. Blah, 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 blah. I still think he has the ability to do well. Is Gus Edwards a start? No. But if you have nothing else, he could be. That's the best I can do. We got Warrior Loft in the house. What's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Hector Gonzalez. What's up, Hector? He goes Atlanta, or I'm assuming it's this question. All right, so it's Atlanta or the Jets defense. Oof. I'm gonna have to lean the Atlanta. Like, I can't trust the Jets defense today. I like the Jets defense. I like them rest of the season in a lot of different matchups. I don't know about this week. It's gonna be a tough week. If your defense is on the field more than your offense, your defense is going to get burnt out, and then it's going to let up plays, and it's just going to happen. That's why I don't like the Jets defense. They're a great, solid defense. I think that they have all the tools to be a really, really good defense, but unfortunately, it's tough. You can't, go against it. Atlanta had a good game last week. They're going against Green Bay, rookie quarterback, whole bunch of stuff. I'll lean Atlanta. What up, Rasta? I guess you just woke up, huh? Glad to see you here, Rasta. We got Warrior Loft in the house. Rest of the season, Drake London or Zay Jones. Ooh, that's gross. That's really gross. I want to say Drake London, but based on what I've seen, it's gross. I mean, I'm not dropping either of one of those guys. I'm not moving any of them. I would just have Zay Jones as the option. Yeah, let's just go with Zay Jones. Okay, so Lions did something to their field, whatever. It looks like, based on what I keep seeing from Jordan Schultz, Travis Kelce expected to play on a pitch count. So he will be on a pitch count. So be aware of that. Anthony goes, good luck, everybody. Hit that subscribe and like button. Yes, please make sure, for those who have joined us so far, make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button if you are not subscribed already. Hope you guys like what we have going on here. Hector goes, drop Pitts or for Freiermuth. Okay, Hector, if you've watched the show, you know how I feel about Kyle Pitts. I don't know if you can actually do that. I don't think you can drop Kyle Pitts for Freiermuth, but I do think that if you did, I'd be okay with it. Like, I just honestly, I don't trust Kyle Pitts moving forward. I understand his talent. I understand who he is. He's a unicorn, so on and so forth. That's fine. Tell me all that when the Falcons have a Matt Ryan Matt Ryan in his prime type quarterback. Then I will be okay with Kyle Pitts. Till then, with Desmond Ridder, I don't trust it. For me, Freiermuth is probably the best option. Ralphie in the house. He goes, Cooper may be out Monday. He is going to be out Monday. He's out of your lineup. Fire up Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore should be fine now that we know this particular information. Neanderthal goes, another standard league. DJ Moore or Gabe Davis in my flex. Sat Swift, shake my head. Hey, man, you're not the only one that sat Swift. I don't have Swift, but I know a lot of people that did sit him. For me, I'm going to aim DJ Moore. Don't get cute. In situations like this, don't get cute. Just DJ Moore. I understand their situation. I understand it's going to be a shitty game in the, rain possibly. Just DJ Moore. They talked about throwing the ball a little bit more, getting the ball out of Justin Fields' hands. DJ Moore. Just DJ Moore. Gabe Davis is great. I love Gabe Davis. We gave away his jersey. I really was on him all last year. Just until further notice, it's hard to trust him. Hard to trust. All right, let's move on to wide receiver value picks. Like I said, Jamar Chase is kind of a value today at $4,800 compared to a lot of other people. Calvin Ridley at $8,300. Amon St. Brown at $81. Like I said, you're taking out 3 different games this week. So a lot of guys are moving up a little bit in prices. But let's get to some value. Value here, T. Higgins. I talked about him in the beginning in the middle and beginning and end. I'll talk about him again. Do not stress about T. Higgins. He will be fine. Baltimore is short at corner. Play T. Higgins. This is a good price for him. Pair him up with Joe Burrow. You get 2 values. I love it. So that is a good value pick for you is T. Higgins. Another guy is Mike Williams. Mike Williams at $6,700 against Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are weak against the pass. Mike Williams will do Mike Williams things. He is a definite ceiling play if you're looking to play him this week. Zay Jones is another guy, $6,300 going against Kansas City. He was highly targeted. I think he was the second highest in targets in that game. Romeo Doubs you can throw into that list, but Atlanta did pretty well against the pass last week, even though it wasn't really the best opponent. $6,300, not a bad choice. But yeah, he's there. He's the only option to throw to. So be aware. My favorite is Dotson. $6,100. Whew. Good price going against Denver. Denver got burned last week again, for Jacoby Myers. And I think Dotson's a better wide receiver. Not a bad price for him there. DJ Moore at $6,100, a steal. I just told you to play him. He is definitely someone that you can target. Another guy we were talking about before, Puka, $5,800. Remember, FanDuel is half PPR, so it's a little bit less focused on full PPR options like Puka. How he's been, but still a good value. Now that I heard that DeAndre Hopkins is out, I can't really offer this, but I did say Nick Westbrook-Akine, $5,400 in a good situation going against the Chargers. I don't hate that price. Treylon Burks, also $5,400. One of those 2 guys you can roll with, and I think you'd be just fine. Sorry, gotta get some fluids in there. All right, let's move on to tight end value picks. Tight end we got all of our top options back. We got Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Darren Waller. Everybody is back. George Kittle is there as well. But my favorite is Evan Ingram going against Kansas City, $6,000. Great price for him as well. Another guy I like, Sam Laporta, who we talked about before. He's at $5,100. Great price for him. Zach Ertz is another guy, $4,900. Giants are notoriously bad against the tight end. Yes, he had 10 targets, 7 catches for 21 yards. I understand that. 10 targets for him, or 10 targets for any tight end is huge. And coming off the ACL injury or the ACL-MCL injury, I mean, come on. Give him a chance. He could be a good option for you. I do like Adam Troutman a lot too. At $4,600. He's just somebody I've always been a fan of, and slowly coming back from grace. So yeah. Neanderthal, no. D-Hop is active. All I was trying to say is since D-Hop is back, I had originally thought that he wouldn't play, so I went, no. Hopkins is in. Let's be clear. If I said that he was out, I'm sorry. It was more along the lines of I thought he was going to be out. I thought he was going to be out. So I originally had Nick Westbrook-Akine as like a really good option, but once again, I think that if anything, if he's out there, he's not going to be targeted as much. I think if anything, he's going to be just a, I wouldn't say a dummy, but he's going to be a decoy. He's going to be somebody that they're going to try to roll coverage to. But you did miss here. I was under the impression he might be out. I was thinking he will be out. He is active and playing, but I don't trust him. He could re-aggravate real easily. It's an ankle injury. He didn't practice all week. I understand he's a vet and he can just roll with the punches, but yeah. So, all right, let's move on to defenses. And honestly, some of these defenses, man, it's crazy the prices that they're paying. Right now, the top defense is San Francisco. Okay. I get it. But Dallas being $4,500 is insane. Smashing. Boom. Done. Dallas Cowboys. One of the best options out there today. The other one is the Titans. Titans defense is a good price today for if you wanted to kind of spend down a little bit. $3,800. I think they're a good defense this week. Based on the price, based on the situation. LA team, it's a West Coast team going east. It always tends to work out that way. Same deal with the Detroit Lions. You could probably use them as well at $4,000. Always remember, West Coast teams that go east don't always fare well. It's a huge change. You're losing 2 hours of sleep. Just be aware of that. Neanderthal goes, oh, okay. Phew. Don't have any other option besides Flowers. Flowers is a good choice in my opinion. I think Flowers is always a good choice in most situations based on what we've seen going forward. Anthony goes, I think you misspoke. It's all good. Just freaked out. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to freak anybody out. Hopkins is active. I thought he would be out. Misspoke. My bad. Sorry if I freaked anybody out. Don't go, in this case, you would shoot the messenger, but it's kind of hard to get me through here. Anyway, those are my value picks for DFS. So make sure you guys check out those particular things. If you're using anything, like I said, I used FanDuel, but could be a little bit different on DraftKings or anything else that you want to use. But also make sure you guys, of course, check out our sponsors. And that's Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys check them out. Use the promo code GETRIGHT when you do, and when you register, they will match your first deposit. So make sure you guys check them out. They're great. I understand we talked about this before, where they are, who can use them. Hopefully they come to you guys soon. They're working on it. But make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Also, like I said before, make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com. Another great site, another great group of, I love these guys. They're real funny, real animated, really know what they're doing. So make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com. They have all types of things like the ring, the belt, the trophy, the chain. They have wonderful things. Make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com. And make sure you guys use the promo code GETRIGHT. They'll help you at checkout. Also, make sure you guys check out our affiliate podcast as well, the Frontline podcast with Tim and AJ. Make sure you guys check out the Checkdown podcast with Cody McGoats and Shirtless Pat and the crew. Make sure you guys check them out on Wednesdays at 8:30 Eastern. Also, keep an eye out for AJ. For Adam. Them boys is going to be giving you those Deadzone guys, those flex options to help you with your week. So check out the Deadzone Fantasy Show as well. All right. So Neanderthal goes, would you start Flowers over D-Hop? I might. I think I would. I'm not sold coming back from an injury. It's an ankle injury, lower body. If he's out there, he's going to be half speed. All he has to do is catch the damn ball. I get it. Going against Chargers, not great against the pass. I don't feel comfortable with it. I mean, he is their only good option, but I think they're going to use him as a decoy. I honestly think that, this is a game for Chig. I think this is a game for Nick Westbrook. I think they're really going to have him out there to kind of, pull defenses one way. Drunk. Why are you giving me all right. Would you start Darren Waller or Hollywood Brown? I'm going to go with Darren Waller. I hate playing tight ends in the flex unless you have to. But if you're flexing Darren Waller, it means you have someone like Kelsey or Andrews above him. So I'm going to go with Darren Waller here. Yeah, I can't. Hollywood Brown, until further notice, is dead. Like, he's just, in fantasy, he is just dead. There's no reason to pick him. Anthony goes, Underdog, pick him special, CMC, higher or lower than 0.5 total yards, and include Tua featured pick for your chance at a piece of 100K. Make sure you guys check that out. Wasn't aware. Sorry, Underdog. But Anthony is on top of things, as always, in the chat. So make sure you guys check out Underdog for those specials. I still got to make some teams. I haven't done that yet. I always am here for you guys first, and then I take care of myself a little bit after. So make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. I'm going to be wrapping this up in the next 15, 20 minutes, if not sooner, based on how much volume I get in questions. So if you have questions, keep them rolling. If you don't, no worries. Not a big deal. I wish you all good luck in this particular week too. I hope everybody is in a good spot where they don't have to ask questions. That's always a big plus. I understand having us here is always a great help, but it's also great when you have nothing to worry about. Set it and forget it teams. So make sure you guys check us out. Also, we got our schedule right here below. Ooh, Martin in the house. Dynasty Pylon, Mostert or Moss? I'm going to go Moss. It's gross. It doesn't feel good, but I'm going to say Moss. Houston defense is beat up. Petrie is out. Jimmy Ward, I think, is out for them as well. A few other guys on offense are. They're a funnel defense, so you can run. They're better at pass rush. We watching you now. Ooh. Oh, because you guys just finished your show. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm going to go Moss for your question. He's healthy. No one really behind him. Evan Knoll is out. Deion Jackson fumbled the ball like 4 or 5 times last week. I mean, it was only like 2, but still. Either way, I think I'm going to lean Moss. I just moved him. Oh, you guys are live watching me? Aw, hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Well, I'm glad you guys are watching me. Make sure you guys check out the Nerd Huddle and Dynasty Pylon. So make sure you guys check them out. Always great. Martin's over there. I'm on both channels now. Well, I wish I knew that. I could be talking to you guys, getting your input. Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that a lot. We got Kelly in the house. Kelly Strobel. He goes Joshua Kelly or James Conner, full PPR. Ew. Why are you making me pick this? It's going against my Giants. He's like, no, just for that question. Thank you for the love, bro. Love you. Good seeing you, man. I always love that. So Joshua Kelly or James Conner, full PPR. I have James Conner probably ranked higher in this particular equation. Where do I have Conner? I have James Conner at 22. I have Joshua Kelly at 20. So they're right next to each other. Tennessee's a really good offense, or a really good defense. I'm going to go James Conner. Giants are good, but their defense struggles. I don't like it, but I'm going to go James Conner. I like Joshua Kelly a lot. I actually just moved him out of my lineup, but yeah, I'm going to go James Conner. I like Joshua Kelly. I moved him out of my lineup for Zach Moss 2 minutes ago. I just feel more comfortable going against the Titans in this case, or the Texans. Joshua Kelly going against the Titans. I mean, oof, that's a tough one. Titans are a really good run defense. They really are. Jeffrey Simmons just eats everybody. So Neanderthal says, I have your Giants in a very risky parlay today, minus 5.5. Go Giants. Hey, man, good for you. I hope so. I mean, I'm wearing their jersey. I'm trying to, hope that everything works out well. I mean, if they're going to beat anybody, it would be Arizona, right? Arizona put up a fight last week. We'll see. We have Isaiah Simmons. He could help out with, letting us know some calls and shit. That's about all we have, though. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, Kyle, I'm going to go James Conner. Can't go wrong. Volume play. Got to go James Conner. Like I said, I do like Joshua Kelly a lot, though. It's so hard to be like, no, don't play him. I spent a ton of money on him. We don't know how long Austin Eckler is going to be out. So if you don't play him, this is the only week you can. I saw a lot of things online that the last time Joshua Kelly was a RB1 without Eckler in or someone behind him, he got, I think it was only 4 fantasy points, and it was he's only played a handful of games by himself. And I think I forgot where the stat came from. I got to find it. But it was something along the lines of he only scored like 1.9 fantasy points per game or something like that anytime he's been the RB1. So it's hard to trust that. But the offensive line has been better. But the Titans are overall a better they're a better defensive line. So Neanderthal, he took the Packers, the Colts, the Jags, the Ravens, and the Giants. And the Browns. Holy hell. All right. I don't hate that. I think that's a ballsy parlay right there. I like it, though. That return is going to be nice if that all works out for you. Good for you, Neanderthal. I like it. I like it a lot. All righty. Does anyone else have any other questions that they got? Throw them in the chat. I'm going to wait another couple minutes to give you guys a few minutes to kind of get your questions in if you have any. If you don't, I'm going to start wrapping this up right now. Kind of did a couple reads already. Like I said, check out our affiliates. Check out our schedule right here. Like I said, we will be back on Monday night. We'll have Frank and Ann here overreacting to the week, making sure they give you their waiver wire picks and all that fun stuff. They'll be back on Wednesday to go over your roster construction, trade, buy, sell, all that fun stuff. Then me and Rasta will be back here on Friday to go over your start sit questions, break down the week, give you guys our best start and sit options. And then I'm going to be back here on Sunday morning, every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock to help you guys with your particular start sit things, actives, inactives, daily fantasy stuff as well. So make sure you guys check us out moving forward. Make sure you guys also check out our affiliate podcast, the Fantasy Frontline podcast, the Checkdown podcast, and the Deadzone Fantasy Show. So check those out on our station as well. All right. Also, make sure, like I told you guys about 10 times today, check out Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys use promo code GETRIGHT. When you do, they will double your first deposit. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys have a wonderful week too. good luck in all your matchups. I hope everyone does very well. I will see you guys next Friday. And I, make sure you guys check me out on Twitter as well. This is my Twitter account. Follow me, ask me questions. I'm always available for anybody. Any advice you guys need, I'm always around. So make sure you guys check me out. Check out, Get Right Fantasy on Twitter as well. Get Right FF. We are there for you guys to help you guys with your, help you guys win your leagues. So for Dustin, for Frank, for my good buddy Rasta, who is in the chat, make sure you guys have a wonderful week too. We will see you guys soon.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided.